crush my lungs and swallow me whole. Little does that big man know I've got me a pocket of stones. Flying in the desert haze, the Lord has given me a test today. Into my sling, wait for the midday bell to ring. A pocket of stones, and on that throws. A pocket of stones, the Lord's gonna take his spirit home. A pocket of stones, my skin and bones. A pocket of stones, the Lord's gonna take his spirit home. Six gun. I am scared, but do not run. The Lord will protect his faithful son. He pulls his gun and takes his aim. In his eyes I see the flames. Between his eyes in the dust, the giant lies. A pocket of stones, and on that throws. A pocket of stones, the Lord's gonna take his spirit home. A pocket of stones, my skin and bones. A pocket of stones, the Lord's gonna take his spirit home.
Sand fills my shoes. My skin is burnt like stone. My bones are all that carry me. My man lived long ago. Four went into the desert. One's coming back alone. Where the time has gone, I do not know.
Stains the ground. 4 souls in the fire, 3 bullets from a gun, 2 hours in the Badlands, and now there's only one. Desert voices, they're calling me. They're commanding what I can't see. Desert voices, I cannot stop. As I make my way to the mountain top.
Howdy there, folks. Oh, I mean, that's my best cowboy accent that I can do. We're not going to do any more of that. But I am going to wear this cowboy hat because today we're getting into some real old Western stuff, everybody. Welcome in. How are you guys doing on this beautiful Sunday? I think I got the camera situated. I think everything with the camera is fixed, and today is going to be a good stream. Okay, it's gonna be a good stuff. Howdy there, Connor. How you doing, Marvin Studios? Howdy there, Marvin Studios. Welcome into the chat. Thank you for joining today. Make sure to hit the like button below and subscribe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm no promises that was the last one that I'll be doing today. Very good. Your camera is great. Yes, so far so good. It's actually somewhat charged now, so we should be good. JVL, welcome into the chat. Tomorrow, first day of school. Really? Wow. Okay. So it's August 31st. So September 1st is, I guess, the, what region is that dialect? Dude, I don't know. It's some kind of Southern accent. Southern drawl. I don't even know if it's a real Southern drawl. I just trying my darndest, okay? Gosh darn, we trying our darnest. But welcome Adam into the chat. Please never speak like that again. Oh, dang it. See, I'm trying to get in the mood here, guys. I'm trying to get into the mood for today's stream. So actually, big stuff today, guys. Big stuff. As you guys know, we already have 2 models that we built on stream. I'll go over those here momentarily, but I've also officially received one model already. I believe that's from you, Beargun, right? I don't actually know. It's Kyrian, who's on Discord, and this is my biggest problem. You guys' Discord names are different than your YouTube names. So the bank is you. Okay, fantastic. Because I'm like, people's YouTube names versus their Discord name is different. And I think that should be a general rule. If you have a name on your YouTube channel, that should be the same name as on your Discord. Or at least put like in parentheses. Can we do that? I think over on the Discord, I believe you can put your nickname on the server. Can we all just as a general collective agree to like use the same names? Just so that way it's easy for me. I know it's just me that's asking for this, but that would be great if you guys could do that. And by the way, if you guys aren't on the Discord, please go join it. Discord's right here. I'll throw the link inside of the chat. If you guys aren't part of the Discord, it's a great location to be. Actually, is that gonna, there we go. Join our Discord, discord.jg/UTWTIWGEGY. You know, that's the one. So if you guys join the Discord, then you guys can be part of this game if you want. Build 3D models. I threw out a thing last week, and I'm going to continue it again this week. You guys want a free membership to the Patreon. You can, we're not living in a dictatorship, Connor. Okay. But if you guys want a free membership to the Discord, you guys can create a 3D model for this video game. And then once you make the model and send it in, then I will give you guys a gift out of a subscription to the Patreon. And I've got 2 so far. I've got one from here from Paragon Productions, as well as another one, which I guess isn't done yet. It's one that Satya is making, which Satya's Discord name is Bunny. And I just found that out this morning. I'm like, I know who Satya is, but I don't know. Okay, so we're connecting the dots here, slowly but surely. Don't talk like that. Okay, we're done talking like it. We're not, I can't promise because, you know, it just kind of slips at some point and I'll just do it. But I will try to not do that, okay? First of all, let's go ahead and jump over to what we do have. This was the first 3D model that we created. It's just a general store. I might start reusing some of the assets like our barrel here and things like that. I don't have any words on the sign yet, but we did 3D model everything. So this was something that I went through and I built out like a shader. So even if you guys send me 3D models that aren't textured, I can throw some textures on them myself. Though if you guys would like to texture your own 3D models, that would be great. Just so that way they're maybe a little bit more different or unique. But regardless, I could still throw on some textures that I have. I just know the voice acting for the game is going to be wild. Hey, I'm not going to do the voice acting myself. I'm actually going to try hiring actors. I actually have some experience on this. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I made a film already that's in this world of this Western. So we will be doing the professionals. Okay. That's the plan. But anyway, so this was the general store I made. I didn't furnish the inside, and this is something I'm going to have to start doing here soon, is actually texturing the inside of these places and getting some of the stuff to look a little bit nicer in that regards. I'm not going to save that. But then we went and made ourselves a saloon. We did this last couple weeks, I think, 2 weeks. And this one, I'm very pleased with how it turned out. This is fully textured a saloon here with all of the windows and everything. Very pleased with this, actually. I may go back to the general store and do some touch-ups now that I actually have this done, because I actually think this turned out better. We're learning as we're going along. It's great. But I have like a bunch more different wood textures going on here. We do need to furnish the inside here. That is something that we'll have to do, as well as texture. I built a little bit of a bar, nothing crazy right now, but we have a little bit of a bar location that will have that, as well as our stairs here. I need a piano made. That's going to be a whole thing. I need a piano made, and then probably some chairs and tables for that whole joint down there. And then of course we get to the upstairs. It's a bit of a almost like brothel type situation, so I need to have at least one bedroom for the upstairs location, maybe two. We might stick 2 bedrooms up here. We can squeeze them. But anyways, that is the saloon. So that ends where we did all of our live streams so far. And then I received some other 3D models. So first up, I'll open up the bank. We have our asset building bank right here. And this was sent in by Kieran on Discord. And so right here, I'll throw this into materials. I did throw my own wood textures on this one, how I kind of saw fit, but I might adjust some of it now. A little messy on some of the textures there that I did. But so far, really excited, pretty pleased with this. What's it called? Things that hold banister stuff looks way better than mine. Really excited by that. Details, as well as this whole thing down here. This looks fantastic. So anyways, I didn't throw, I don't know if there was glass here or not. I don't think there was, but we might want to throw some glass windows in. But yeah, this is really freaking nice model. Thank you so much, Kieran, for sending this in. Phenomenal. And I mean, I didn't really do it justice, I think, with the texture. So we're going to revisit that. And on the inside, we actually have a nice little bank teller set up here for over there. I think the only thing it's really missing, and I don't know where it's supposed to go, and maybe you can tell me, Baragon, or wait, who actually made this? Baragon Productions, right? No? Wait, stop it. Pause for a moment. I thought, Baragon, you said you did this. Did you not? Wait, what do you mean better than you? Oh, the textures. Gotcha. Okay, I see what you're saying. Where do you think the vault would go on the inside? Is it going to go in this room over here or back here? Not quite sure. There is a hole upstairs. We could have the vault upstairs, but I feel like it wouldn't be on the second floor. No, okay, I get you. Thank you, Baragon. But yeah, no, dude, that turned out really good. I was thinking up here would be more of like a desk location, like a little like type thing, but maybe the vault goes up here as well. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Go ahead and leave some comments of what you guys think that should happen. I think this turned out fantastic. We could definitely just use this model even as is right here. Throw in a couple more, 3D models of like props or something like that up against the walls. I'm not quite sure yet. I need to get my asset library of some props out there as well. That's going to be like, oh my goodness, we're going to have to start building up some assets for that. But there you go. There's the bank. Turned out great so far. And actually the one that I haven't even seen yet, I just downloaded it. I haven't even opened it yet. Was made by, you did have that room made to accommodate a safe. The upstairs, thought could be used for office or something. Oh, I see, the small room over here. My only thought is this. It's just a logic thing. And I don't really know because I haven't done any research on this. So let me know what you think. The tellers would go in here. Well, this is the exit to the teller location. Why would the exit, the thing that's easier to get into, because there's only one door blocking it, be the location where the vault is? I think that's the only thing that kind of like doesn't make as much sense to me. If maybe, I'm wondering, if we slid this over these windows, like 50-50 split it, put the door over here, and then there's no door on this side, then the vault could be like on that back wall there, and then the tellers just kind of like walk this way into, like it's a door into their room. It's not two separate rooms. It'll just be a door into the teller booth location. I'm wondering if that might be the solution to the vault. Not a huge detail. If we were to make the whole feature film that I have, that would be more important because it would be a level that actually would probably happen. But I don't think we're having the people break into the bank on this game. Though if they want to, maybe they can. Maybe we make it an option where you can break into the bank. But that would be something I would think about. Great. Now, moving on. I haven't seen this next one, so we shall see. Let's look at the sheriff's building. I just got this morning. File written by newer version of Blender. Fantastic. That means I am on an older version of Blender. Probably makes sense because I'm on 4.3, whereas you guys might be using like 4.5 or something like that. Let's see if it's got materials on it. I haven't seen this yet, so we shall see if I even have the textures. Oh, hell yeah, dude. I got some of the textures somehow. I think it might have been packed in or something like that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Again, this was made by Satya, who, it's been a while since Satya's been on our live streams, but Satya made this 3D model here. And then on the inside, whoa, we've got some cards on the table here, the desk of the sheriff, as well as a cigarette that's just sitting there and chilling. We've got, a bench. We've got our jail over here with some nice bed. Oh my goodness, guys. Check this out. Holy cow. Wait, is this a toilet back here? Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. You know we're throwing some gunk in that toilet. We got to throw some gunk in that toilet down there. Oh my goodness. Oh, you used version 4.2. So am I on a later oh no, this is 4.3. I see. It's a different 3D model. Yeah. So then there's this, which are brass bars. Oh goodness, I cannot like see correctly. Here we go. I bet you I'm giving you guys all like epilepsy or something. I don't even know. Okay, so there's the gate. Wow, dude, this is crazy. Cool details. And are these like, oh, these are like literal wood planks all lined up. Oh, fantastic. Is this, let's see. Oh, wow, it is actual lined up planes. UV unwrapped correctly. Fantastic. Okay, and then we go over here. What's over here? We got another office, another desk over here with a safe of some kind. Awesome, dude. Hey, honestly, I am very excited about this as well. Great work, Satya. Thank you so much for putting this together. No, Satya said it was like 2 a.m. there, so Satya would not be joining the stream today while I was going over this, but I am loving this. I think the only thing I would kind of like, I don't know if it's necessary, but maybe a back door out the back side. In the film, there's actually a section where they do use a back door on the sheriff. It's later in the film, so I don't think it's necessary for this, but it would be nice to have a back door over here. And yeah, of course, we're just going to fill it up with some more props, maybe like a broom of some kind, things like that. I would maybe make a chair on the inside of the jail as well. Yeah. Okay. That's all working great. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then we'll just need some jail keys, just chilling over here. I'd probably put like a coat rack. Yeah, we could fill this up with some more stuff just to make it fuller and have more details inside of it. But this is such a great start. Thank you guys for sending those in. And of course, as I mentioned before, you guys get Patreon, a Patreon membership. Now, you don't have to, I guess, Baragon, you used yours now, which is cool. But you can also save it for later if you want it to. And then, of course, if you want to do another model, maybe I'll just give you another free month or something like that. So, like, if you guys build more models, I'll give out more free memberships. I don't know how we'll do that or whatever. And, no worries. But this is all turning out great. We're just building out a game. Honestly, the game's probably going to be free when I release it anyways. So I don't think I'm going to make it cost any money. We're just going to try to put it up on Steam or something like that when it's finished. And yeah, this is all, wow, dude, like great stuff. Thank you both for sending in those fantastic 3D models. I can't wait to drop them in or even figure out how to export them from Blender to send over. But of course, here are our wonderful Patreon subscribers. And today we're going to jump in and create a new 3D model ourselves. So we're going to be doing a whole new 3D model ourselves from scratch. I don't think we're building a building today. My plan was to build a lantern because the film does take place at night. So I thought it would be really cool to make a lantern because I know that we'll be copy pasting it everywhere. And I'm going to make it with some action VFX assets for the flame itself. But of course, if you guys want to join our Discord, link to that is in the description. I also put it over here in the chat. So if you guys join that link, then you guys can be part of the fun. And that right here is our our Patreon, where different people do different things. This is our work in progress channel. So you guys are working on stuff. You guys can send photos and all that jazz. I see that this is Satya actually was sending in some stills of what they were working on. And then, of course, if you guys are sharing your own videos, that's fantastic. Of course, we also have our general chat as well. Need outhouses too? And I thought you could use Shrek one. Well, okay, so are there outhouses? I guess there are. I think the next one, I was thinking gallows. We'll need some gallows with like a whole stage setup and stuff like that, because that is a character story beat in the film. We need a train station. We need probably just some general houses that people would live in. We need, let's see, maybe like an armory. If they've got, I don't know, what are buildings that would be, I have barrels. I do have barrels. So we copy paste those things all over the place. Try to think. And then also the landscape. Need some landscape. We just need a setting created, and I got to figure out how to use Unreal Engine to really take advantage of a lot of their terrain creation stuff. But today is not that day. Today is a new day, guys. We are working on a new 3D model. So with me now, everybody, say it with me right now. We're jumping right back in. Okay, so I created a whole new 3D thing, and today we're going to be doing that. So let's go into our working here. We're going to start working on a new 3D model. I have, let's see, my right display here. Oh, is that, one second. I got to change my thing because I think I screwed that up. What is this? That's the wrong one. Here we go. Boom, baby. I do have a picture right here that we can use as a reference. I like working off of references because why reinvent the wheel when lots and lots of barrels? 100%. So many barrels that you don't even realize how many barrels that you have. The funny thing is, guys, I actually have a 3D model of this lantern. Okay. Just want to point that out. I'm making one again just for you guys. If you guys go to my YouTube channel and watch my film right here, Bad Omen, by the way, directed by Connor Thomas. There's this whole scene. I'll just skip to it right over here when the lantern gets knocked over. I'll show you. Spoilers, by the way. You guys have seen this though. I mean, please. If you guys haven't seen this, then that's not kind of on you. All right. But right here, this lantern right here is full CG. So I had to 3D model this lantern to match the lantern from the actual movie because I have all these lanterns like laying all over the place. This is a full CG lantern. That's actually a full CG like background, and it was just basically a pickup shot that I did on the day because I didn't have it. We didn't film it, and so I ended up just like recreating it inside of Blender. So we're to basically be making that from scratch today. I guess I could import it, but I think it's on my work computer anyway, so it would be like a whole ordeal. I'd have to like grab that file, send it over, blah blah blah. We're not doing that. We're gonna create this from scratch right here, right now. So first things first, always delete your cube, your default cube. That's just the name of the game, okay? That's just how it works. I'm probably also going to save this right now. So let's go ahead and save this over into our assets. We have all of our project files. I've just been saving everything like here. I'm gonna call this asset object and object lantern 01, because who knows, maybe we'll have more lanterns later. Let's go ahead and save that. We're going to start out, this is a really basic kind of shape. It's a circle. I know. You guys could have guessed it yourself, but I told you here first. So we're going to use a circle. And honestly, this is my favorite type of 3D modeling. We're just going to start extruding upwards. And just, you know, make ourselves a little nice bevel. What about street lamps? Would Western towns have those? Do they? I don't know. One second. Old Western town street lamps. Did they really? No way. I mean, they're basically these lanterns on like a thing. Like they have these. But I don't know if this is actually real. Did they actually? No, they didn't. Stop it. This is all fictitious. This ain't real. Like, there's no way this is actually a kerosene lamp. I don't know if that's actually a thing or not. Either way, we are going to just continue. Because we could actually use this as our street lamp. Just have this kind of go back out. One of my favorite types of 3D modeling is just a circle. And you just keep extruding it at different scales. Like that, maybe. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Oh, this goes straight up. Yeah. My favorite type of 3D modeling is just winging it. I mean, I agree. I think there's limitations, though, to that because I always get a little frustrated at the end, you know? Like that, I think. Something like that. And then kind of go up a little bit. And maybe down a little. And then we're just kind of doing this center middle part over here. And then what I'd like to do is I'd actually like to 3D model like a fly and animate the fly to fly around the thing. So that way when you get close to any of these kerosene lamps, you can kind of see like these little flies buzzing around them. That'd be kind of cool. Okay. Just a little bit out, I guess. And like right there. Guys, we are well underway. Oh my goodness. Come on. No, brother. I want it sideways. What is... There we go. Oh, it was even the wrong one. Thank you. And something like that. Okay, and then we kind of go down a little bit, right? So let's extrude that again, and we'll just go down a little bit. Made you want to get into interior modeling again and work on certain details? Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. You want to work on those interior models for a video game asset, for a AAA video game? Because that's what we're doing here. Okay. Let's have that go down, and then I do F3, go fill, grid fill, which you guys just missed because it went full screen on that. I hate how that's the same shortcut. I'm just going to grab the center here and then do proportional editing. And if we scroll this down, we can kind of create a little bit of a divot here. Fantastic. So that's going to be the base of our thing. And we'll just scale this out a little bit more using that same proportional editing trick. I really love proportional editing. I like use it all the time now just to make like little adjustments like that rather than redoing the whole thing. You decided to model something based off of a palace room. I like giving yourself challenges. Hell yeah, dude. Share some of that over in the Discord. Love to see stuff you're working on. Yeah, I'm gonna put that there. And you know, I actually don't know the proper way to do this. What I'm going to do is just create an additional circle. We're just gonna rotate this on the y-axis a little bit here. And then let's just move that up. Something like right there should be fine. And we'll extrude that outwards on there's the axis. Just turn off proportional editing though right now. Just kind of have that pop out now a little bit more. And there you go. Create a little bit of a cap. Cool. And then okay. Let's do that again. F3, grid fill, F2 so you guys can see again. And grab that center. It doesn't look like there is a center necessarily, actually. Is it this cube or this square? How does that work? Turn proportional editing on, and then we just want a little bit of a pop. And then we grab this whole thing, and I think just rotate that and put that in. There you go. Got ourselves a little knob. You always forgot that grid fill is a thing, even though you remember using it once before. Yeah, you know, like I really like grid fill, and it works most of the time. Then it doesn't work sometimes, and you're like, why did you decide not to work this one time, huh? What do you got against me, huh? That's what my internal dialogue as I'm working on these things. I'm going to use a cylinder right now. Just scale that down. Let's just rotate that 90 degrees and create like this little, I don't even know what that is. We got ourselves a little screw knobber. That's what I call these guys, little screw knobbers. Have that pop out a little bit. I think actually it should even not be rotated. It should be rotated probably 90 degrees here, and we'll have you go into the side right there. But let's just move that all the way out, just adding in these little details that no one will ever appreciate. That's just my life, you know. You add little details no one will ever appreciate. I think the screw dims the flame. It does. I believe so. I think you're right, because it's the amount of kerosene that's basically being fed into the thingy thing. I'm gonna just do that probably. Let's duplicate this. I'm gonna delete only the faces. What? Oh, only faces. There we go. I deleted all faces. That's not the same thing as only faces, Connor. And then we'll scale this to the size in which we want this knob to be. Probably about right there. Maybe a little smaller. And then let's go ahead and we're going to do the same thing we did before. So we're just going to extrude, scale, extrude, scale, extrude, scale it, guys. This is my favorite thing ever. Oh yeah, the small details are the ones that really help, I think. I was watching this one behind the scenes from the VFX supervisor of one of the Tom Holland Spider-Man films. And he was saying that it's really interesting the way, you know, defocus works on visual effects shots, is that everything could be like completely blurred out and in the background, but if it doesn't have that kind of detail to it before you blur it out, then you can kind of tell. Like it just looks mushy versus a detailed blur. And when I heard that, I started doing that in my actual comps. And I feel like it made such a big difference because you're blurring detail and it just has a different feel to it than just blurring nothing. It's actually one of the problems that AI kind of does have right now is that AI is just mushy sometimes and it doesn't have that extra detail that it should have. So just one thing to note, whenever in doubt, add a bunch of detail and then add a ZD focus inside of your Nuke comp and that'll make it look so much better. I like how you refuse to use Taurus. Yeah, because I don't use Tauruses. Also, I'd have to copy rotation, all that crap. We don't need that in our life. Okay. We've got tools that allow us to not. Also, I didn't think of it, but thank you for reminding me about a 3D primitive that I definitely never use. That is hilarious. I literally didn't even think about it. Like it literally didn't even cross my brain. So if you guys are following along here, just do exactly what Baragon Productions says. Nami. Okay, I think actually if we do only these two edges here, we can do bridge. You could do bridge faces. And that will automatically bridge your faces across. I'm going to do the same thing over here as well. I think that's directly across, right? I feel like it should be here. Maybe it is. Sorry, my F3 button is the same button as swapping the screen, so that's the reason why it always swaps. There you go. Bridge faces solves your problems. It's a lot easier than selecting individual vertices and then like, you know, trying to create all four faces. That's another one that like for a while I wasn't doing. I would just like literally grab each vertice and, you know, individually create the faces between everything, like two edges. If you select two edges and then press F, then it fills it. I would do that the whole freaking time. Okay, so now we've got that kind of created. Agree with you with AI, no matter how close it gets, there's something off in the background or just small details that someone might miss. Yeah, and honestly, it's like to the average viewer, it probably doesn't make that big of a difference, right? But I actually think it does make, I think I could use an example. Like if I opened up Nuke right now, I could even show you. Like there's a difference between low quality blur versus high quality blur. So let's do like city escape. I want a photo. Let's grab a photo. We're taking a break from 3D modeling, okay, guys? Let's open this guy. You're already low res. 1 second. That's kind of okay. We'll do this one's going to be kind of okay. All right. So let's go ahead and download this real quick. The JPEG. So I think I have like might be a good example of how this would kind of like line up. Let's just look at this real quick. So if you import like a city landscape like this, and then we'll just go ahead and set this to 709. There we go. So that way we're at least tagging and looking at things correctly, because it does make a difference, everybody. But yeah, if you've got yourself like, you know, just a cityscape right here, first of all, it's pretty freaking low res already. But let's just say that you have another version of it. So we're just going to have two versions here. One is going to be this kind of like regular higher res version of it. And then another one, which is going to be kind of like your low res version of it. And with your low res version of it, we just scale this to like 0.1. You scale it to 0.1, then it's kind of going to give you like this chunky mess. Let's just even make it a little higher res. Let's say it's like that. So it's like 0.2 resolution. And then first of all, this is 900 by 600. So what we'll do is we'll set our scene settings here to be the 900 by 600. And then let's use another reformat node. So now we're reformatting it back to this like 900 by 600 after it's been lower resed. So I might even want to crop this, and then we're going to reformat it back to this. So it's kind of like this out of focus, low res crap, right? Versus the original resolution that it was at. And this is where you spent extra time to get all the details correctly. And this isn't even like a great example of this because, you know, obviously there's still detail in the low res version. It's just kind of chunky. But then let's say you had an actor that you were going to have in front of this, you know, piece here. Let's say we were having an FG green screen type situation. Well, we can throw the same Z defocus on this for both of them. And hell, let's even literally just for the simplicity of this, I'm just going to copy it as a clone. So that way it's literally exactly the same. But yeah, so now we're going to have kind of like both of these are going to have the same amount of Z defocus. And let's say now you go in and you're just like, all right, we're going to get this kind of like defocus like effect here where, you know, it's kind of like blurred out in the background. Well, that looks pretty nice right now. But if you go over to like this other version here, it feels more mushy. Like, look at that. The difference in quality is going to be massive. And as soon as you start getting into like the bladed effect with maybe like a, you know, whoopsies, like a 0.75 for your anamorphic effect, your filter shape, that you want to have. And then maybe you start to add in some more bladed. So your filter shape has kind of more lines to it. This is Nuke. It is Nuke, guys. This isn't Blender. No, I took a detour. I got distracted here, but I'm proving a point. Detail, having more detail inside of your image is kind of important in order for you to be able to blur things better and in the background. Because otherwise you get this mushy crap. And that's from a version that's, you know, like lower res. So having higher res images just to blur it does make a huge difference. Like this is going to look way freaking better than this. This is going to look like your typical After Effects comp that you'll have, or, you know, whatever you're doing, whether it's a video game or an animated film or whatever, higher detail in the background, even if it's out of focus, will look way freaking better than, you know, no detail at all than just blurred. And I find that like such a cool, like thought experiment is just adding in that extra detail. And sometimes you can just fake it with textures or whatever in your 3D models. And you can build out a nice looking texturism that you'll then have in your background. I think that works so much better. I even use images for matte paintings in the background of some of my VFX or animated shots in order to have that extra kind of detailed texture that you wouldn't otherwise get. Anyways, there's my you know, rant of the day. Okay, great. Let's get this glass now. So we have kind of this base here. I'll just call this base. And then we have this, which will be our knob thing. We have this guy, which we should probably add to our base. That's all part of the same texture. And then now we should build out either the side pieces here or the glass. I probably do the glass next. So let's add a cursor to selected and let's see, Shift S, cursor to selected. Why are you not going to that? There we go. This is Nuke. Dude, that was so observant of you. I can't have one rant session? Come on, guys. I feel like I deserve one rant session every now and then on a topic. What am I trying to do? I think I want to add another circle, and I think that's what we're going to go for here. So we'll have it start a little straight down here. And we're just going to create the outer side of the glass first. And then after that, we could go in and like create the interior thickness. Though I am kind of thinking a solidify might just do us some favors on that. So we'll have this go up. Let's see, we're going to scale that out a little bit. Yeah. A little less, yeah. Because it doesn't really fall off. This was like kind of one of those funny things that when I was making the lantern for my film, I it wasn't getting the proportions right. All right, I think that's all we see. Okay, fantastic. We'll call this glass. And let's use a solidify. I would say negative 0.1. Hopefully it's just not growing out. It is growing out. We'll probably go negative 0.01. Seems like a nice glass thickness right there. Yeah. And then I'm going to grab this top one, and then with proportional editing, we'll just shrink the whole thing a little bit. Okay, and then do the same thing with the bottom. But can you make moths fly around it? Yeah, dude, I want to do that. I want to have maybe either some flies or moths or something like that that I'll animate fly around them. And then in the video game, we'll have the chance probability of just those being visible, you know, kind of be there. And then that way, like it adds just like this little extra detail, I think, to the whole thing. Like, I think little things like that make such a big difference on the gaming experience for people. Because they'll just be like, oh my gosh, look guys, the detail of this video game is just so high quality. When it's not really that hard to add that level of detail. I haven't in a while. I saw it when it came out. All right. Let's see. We're going to grab this. Wouldn't he say something like moths make everything look better or something like that? Can't wait for me to make the wire around the glass. Why are you like going to be happy that it's gonna take me a million years to do it? Because it's not. I have experience with making these freaking wires. I've done it once before. And I don't know if you knew this or not, but I am a skilled professional 3D artist right here. Orlando Caicedo, welcome to the chat. Let's see. We're just gonna... Did he say in that video, by the way, how to make moths? I feel like they're probably pretty easy to make. I've been doing great, Orlando. How you been doing? Definitely recommend watching the beginning of this live stream. I showed some of the really cool 3D models that people in our community have been making for this game. right, what are we doing up here? So it kind of like curves in and then goes up, I guess. Like that, I think. And goes up probably to about right there. Yeah, it looks nice. You're finishing a Batman sculpt? Hell yeah. Model a moth in wings down position. Oh, is that the name of the video? You know what, guys? We will watch it together. We will watch and react to this YouTube video together because I am now a reaction channel. I always think like the streamers that do the whole reaction stuff, how the heck, like, I feel like that's such a cheat code of just being able to do just reaction. You're just watching reaction stuff? That's insane. I can do that all day long. All right, so that's going to go up and then up. Yeah, I'm very excited because otherwise it would take me a million years to basically do it. Just saying. If I didn't have people helping out with the 3D models, I don't think this game will ever get done. Do that. The key to making videos reacting to reactions to reaction. Oh, so I got to react to the reactors. Honestly, that's the move. Low-key, I'm just jealous. All right, and then it just goes up a little bit more. Holy cow, I think I'm just getting lost in the curvatures here, man. Just getting lost. It's like a pretty high quality 3D model for what it will be used for. All right. Do F3 grid fill. Okay. That feels so tall to me. The cursor to select it, and then this is what I always. This is what makes it easy, baby. Scale down on 3D cursor. Okay, something about that feels better to me. I mean, everybody knows what a lantern should feel like. Like you really can't go that far away from like what it actually is. Reacting to Connor's Marxist solutions to control the naming of everyone online. Oh, right. Okay, tell me if I'm crazy here, okay? Orlando Caicedo, you might actually agree with me on this because I think your name in the Discord is Caicedo. Is it not? Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm wrong. But like Discord names should match your YouTube name if you're chatting on videos, because then it makes it so everybody knows who's who when they go back and forth. Right? Am I right on this? Maybe I'm not, but I feel like I am. That's the secret. I always feel like I am. All right, let's scale this out on median point here. That's nice. Yeah, you're right. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, baby. And I actually think Marvin is your name, not literally Marvin Studios on here. I feel like you just reacted, right? Did you not? You did. Marvin Studios. Marvin Studios. Same freaking name on YouTube versus Discord. And I know who you are on Discord, which is nice because then when you like comment or ask a question or whatever, I go, oh, I know who that is because I remember you from chat. Yeah, but it doesn't match. At least say what your nickname is. Wait, what? But it doesn't match, at least say what your nickname is. Sure. Cool. So like, and you can do that actually. I think if I went to here and I right click my name, I can do, where's that at? Profile. Uh, there is a way to do it. Forget. You can set your like in server nickname. So like there's an in server nickname that you can have versus like your actual Discord name, which obviously you can't change your Discord name later. Is it settings? Yeah, I can't remember. I know I've seen it before. It's like what it allows you to do is basically have two but you refuse. Fair enough. Hey, you can do whatever your heart so pleases, can do whatever you do. I mean, hell, I think my YouTube name is Connor. Oh, I guess it's the same as my. I think like it's not like this isn't actually my Discord name. I believe that this is just my nickname on Discord. I think, anyways, because I think my actual thing is like my gamer tag or whatever. Okay, so what we're going to do is here, visibility, let's do viewport display, and then just set this to wired for right now, because it's glass, so theoretically we would be seeing through it anyways. And let's build out these side things. Honestly, these side things I always thought were more difficult to create than the actual, like these wires. The wires will be challenging, but I find these to be more challenging, and I don't know why. Let's do... I think if we just take all of that and scale it in, it gives us that. Let's do a subdivide surface on this guy. Okay, that's pretty close to... Yeah. I think it's just on the outside here. And then we do another one here. And then these guys get scaled out? No. Maybe it's this guy gets scaled out. Yep. So now we've got 3 bumps. And that's like an outline. We'll duplicate that guy. There we go. It's pretty smooth now. You believe in me? You put your name in all the places so people know it's you. Otherwise, it's confusing. Yes. And I think that's like, I don't know. I just found out this morning that you guys remember Satya. Satya is an old subscriber from the channel. Satya's nickname on Discord is like Bunny, I think. And I'm like, well, I didn't know who Bunny was. And I've been, you know, every now and then getting messages from Bunny. And I'm like, okay, I've never seen you in the chat. And then also it'd be funny because I'd get Patreon subscribers and I'm like, I don't even know who this person is, but it's like, cool, thank you for joining the Patreon. But it's weird to me because I have certain people that do chat every week. And I think there's a disconnect between the Discord name, the Patreon name, and then the YouTube name. And I'm just like, I think I'm lost. All right, so here's why we did this. We created ourselves an outline of our basically our handle here. Now we can grab this and kind of just line it up, I think. Mostly pretty straight. Start it like right there and then just extrude it out. Whoops. Extrude it out. And this is the easy part. We just Probably something like that. Like, okay. How's that, guys? And then if we do this with a mirror and just mirror it there, boom. Plus, the other day you found in TikTok is Orlando 3D who works in Blender but is not you. What? There's another Orlando? I mean, it's funny. You search on YouTube, there's like 3 different Connor Thomases. There's another Connor Thomas that is like does music or something like that. And that's not funny, you know? Because if you search Connor Thomas on YouTube, I think he still pops up in front of me. And I'm like, guys, I have more subscribers on my YouTube channel. And somehow I don't have as many, or I don't pop up first. I don't get it. All right, we're going to select this and do cursor to selected. And then let's do object set origin to 3D cursor, just to make sure that it's the center of this. I don't think it is. Yeah, it's not lined up. I don't know why. Grab it and just kind of try to line it up as much as possible. And then we'll do it again. Object set origin to 3D cursor. It's okay if it's not perfect, but I don't want it to not be perfect, you know? I want there to be a little bit of weirdness to it, but just start singing and making the people confused. Yeah, you guys have no idea. My career is about to take off in such a big way. I have a song coming out. Just kidding. You guys don't want to hear me sing. I think that is pretty evidently clear in my life. I've discovered that about myself. That nobody needs to hear Connor Thomas, or this Connor Thomas, sing. Maybe the other Connor Thomas, but definitely not this Connor Thomas. All right, let's get that to go down. And then I'm going to again just do grid fill. I'm going to figure out if I can change the shortcut to that so that way it doesn't keep doing that. There we go. There is our lovely side handles. That actually looks pretty decent. Probably better than what I had in my film. Not going to lie, because I didn't like what I did in the film. Which is why it was dark, motion blur with a lot of grain. Anytime you got problems with something looking bad, those are the things you add. Motion blur, grain, and make it backlit. And it works most of the time. You're that good and you don't want to put the other Connor Thomas down. You get it? And found Connor who uploads workout video. Oh, that is certainly not me. I mean, you guys can clearly see that ain't me. Okay, let's make these wires right here. I think the wires are next up. Maybe also the half circle holders things. I also have a bit of a tin hat to this. Is that because I don't know how this stuff works, okay? I feel like we don't have to have this level of detail, but I also want to because I want to. And then let's use a mirror here against this guy. And let's just have 2 holes. And then let's just apply that for right now. We will then use a bool against these guys. Apply that, delete this. Beautiful. We've got ourselves some circles. And now if we select our circles here, oh my goodness, we can't. Why? Why can we not select our circles, guys? It's annoying. Let's just go to top-down view and then select them this way. Oh, goodness. I think we're pretty close to correct amount of circles to select. And then we extrude that down. Doesn't need to go all the way down, but decent amount of down. Shade auto smooth. There we go. Boom. Reapply. That almost got bad for a moment. Don't forget what you assumed to be the chimney, I think. What? Oh, yeah. I think they are a chimney. I'm not going to have it go all the way into it because that would be absurd. And yeah, I don't want to. I'll probably have this, again, grid fill. And then our lovely... Oh, did I delete them? Crap. I think I deleted it. So let's just back up. Back up a moment, everybody. Back it up. We're going to re-add that stuff in. We're going to keep Control-Zing until the Boolean's visible. We'll turn off the Boolean for a moment. We kind of have to select this bottom edge here, scale that in, and then grid fill it. So let's do that. Fantastic. Probably scale it up, actually. Now, we now have this bottom surface here as well as the top surface. If we grab these cubes, or sorry, cylinders, and just make them go all the way through, now we're going to have nostrils for the smoke to go out, because you need to get rid of smoke. But yeah, now that's going to actually make it go all the way through, and then we don't actually have to reselect anything. Believe now, if we just make that shade auto smooth, blah blah blah, all that jazz, then this should work. Ignore sharpness. That works great, guys. I think now we can just bevel the edges, but like I don't think that's gonna look very good. Yeah, it did not. So we're not going to do that. We're just gonna have sharp, very, very clinically sharp edges to our nostrils. Our nostrils have very sharp edges. Okay, next up is probably just dupe this. Scale that out. Probably start it a little bit more like that. And something like that should work. Do another grid fill up here. Probably something like that works. And then we'll just do another grid fill. Goodness gracious, I gotta change that shortcut, guys. And then let's take this whole thing and just scale it down. And then if we grab this piece up here and then use the proportional editing, it's pretty cool. Now it just needs to be connected. So go ahead and save that. You should bring lanterns back into fashion. I actually have like a bunch of them just like everywhere, because when I shot my film, I just bought like a ridiculous amount of lanterns and then you know, furnished the whole thing. But when you're done filming, what they don't tell you is that you still have everything that you shot with. So just know, if you ever make a film and you don't rent props, you're just going to have everything to take home with you, which is pretty cool. Or not cool if you don't want a bunch of lanterns. I actually didn't mind that I had a bunch of lanterns, but it is something that's kind of funny. Okay, we're going to mirror this around this guy here. Let's just flop it on that side. We'll apply it. Doesn't matter. And I think we're good. You're new to Blender. What starting projects would you recommend? Because I don't want to be stuck in tutorial hell. The donut. The donut. Everybody starts with the donut. You're kind of required, I think, by law when starting Blender to start with the donut. Although I will say I didn't start with the donut. So if you don't want to start with the donut, you don't have to. I don't know, guys. I really haven't, I guess, done too many tutorials recently, obviously. But I don't know, is there like a good tutorial series anybody else in this chat might recommend for getting started in Blender? My biggest recommendation with any software, specifically kind of like VFX software, is the best way to learn is just do it. Tutorials work sometimes, but they're also usually pretty ideal circumstances versus doing an actual shot. You will discover so many pitfalls and like, oh, I don't know how to do this or whatever. And that's all because when you work on real projects, nothing ever works. You always have to kind of like find solutions to stuff. So I definitely don't recommend staying in tutorials for too long. I think the best thing really is to learn as you go. And then that helps you learn how to learn, because visual effects is about learning. That's all visual effects is problem solving and figuring out how to do stuff. And my biggest recommendation definitely is like, while yes, maybe doing the donut tutorial, especially if you don't know how to use the software at all, is a great way to learn how buttons work and what menus are. But once you do get past that point, don't stay in tutorials forever, because otherwise you're basically teaching yourself to be told how to do work versus learning how to figure stuff out yourself, which I think is more important. I didn't have the donut tutorial when I started because it wasn't out yet. So I learned a lot by just doing. And I think that's really helped me a lot in my career because, developing new pipelines and things like that, it is very important to kind of figure out how to do things yourself, especially as new technology is coming out. Because if a new technology or program or whatever is dropped, there are no tutorials for it yet. So you kind of have to learn how to do that stuff yourself. Hope that helps. Okay, we're going to start working on this lovely wire here, which is just kind of like a circle, but with one edge lifted. So we can actually make these pretty easily. We are going to start with a circle. And we will then object. Let's see, let's convert this object. So we're going to convert it to a curve, first of all. And then under our curve geometry, we can do a little bit of extrusion. Sorry, depth. Probably something like that might work. 0.02. Hell yeah. The problem with our circle that we have is that it has a lot of vertices to it. And we don't necessarily want that. Instead, let's go to top view here. And let's say we can always rotate it later, so it's not really that big of a deal. But let's select these vertices here, these three on this edge. Oh, my camera just turned off, guys. My goodness. Why is my camera off? Okay, I gotta figure this out. The battery just went out again. My goodness gracious. What the heck is going on? We need a solution to this. It was doing so good. I don't know why. It's plugged in. It literally says plugged in. Okay. So I didn't take the battery out of the camera this week to charge it. Instead, it's just plugged into the wall. So maybe what I'll do is I will take the battery out and actually charge it. And then hopefully that'll solve it for future. I don't even know. Make a 3D avatar to take over if your camera dies. You know what? We've got pictures of Connor. We do. Connor VTuber. How do we do so? What do we do? Connor, I need a Connor avatar. 1 second. We're Googling this, guys. How to have an avatar of your face that talks with your audio. Boom. Come on. Try AI mode. Not interested. Create talking faces with Hey Jen. So we're doing it, baby. We're doing it. Create video for free. I just want it to be live. Can we do it live? Is there a way to live do this? Because like they used to have it like way back in the day. Casually explain stick figure avatars. Wait, generative talking video with lip sync. Create talking faces. Let's see. How to create avatar of your face. The talking with your audio for Zoom call. Because that's what it is. We really want it for Zoom call. AI talking head for free. Let's go. Let's go. Get started. I will give you all of my data. That's what we want. Oh, they've got like, okay, wait a second. Upload an image. Oh, I have to log in. I can use a generic one, guys. I got generic faces. You don't like AI? Not for Google searches. I mean, I don't even know what it is yet. Like maybe I should let AI Google search whatever do the thing, but I haven't done that. I haven't gotten into it. All right, what's a good photo? I don't even have a photo of myself right now, guys. Goodness gracious. I've got a bunch of other photos. Oh my goodness, I look so haggard in that photo. We can't use that photo. We're not using that photo. I don't think that photo is a good idea. Screw it. We're using that photo. Do I have a character render? No, I haven't done any characters yet, honestly. Oh, wait. So generative AI. Start recording. No, wait. Is this where it like I have to convert audio? I want it to be for Zoom calls. Can it not do that? Video podcast, AI presentation, AI live stream. There we go. AI live stream. I think I figured it out. Wait, what? It's like a legitimate AI live stream. I want to create one. I'm going to create one with my photo. And preview? Wait, what? How do I start 10 minutes? It says it's free, but this is the most complicated website I think I've ever seen in my life. Use a pic from my YouTube? Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I literally like using avatars in meetings and webinars. Okay, but that's like Zoom. Screw it. Do I have to use Zoom? I will. I'll do it. You guys can't stop me. I'm just going to log into my Zoom real quick and then start a fake meeting. Is that what I have to do? I don't want Zoom popping up on this screen. Thank you very much. Close that. Remind me later. If I do a new meeting, who knew being a VTuber was this much work? Honestly, I didn't realize it was. Let's go ahead and start this meeting. Okay. And then choose an avatar. There we go, guys. We're getting there. We're doing the things. Oh my goodness. They've got like I don't even know what this is. What? Okay, one second. I'm gonna share this in a moment. I figured it out. Choose avatar. Can I use a picture? Or do I have to use their emoji character? Create a new avatar. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's like an avatar builder. Guys, we're building an avatar. Let's do it together. We're building an avatar together, guys. So this is the default one it gave me. So let's get into it. I've got like skin that's a little lighter. Whoa, that guy is really white. Probably somewhere there. Face or so is more. What are we thinking? I'm probably going with that. Hair. That's probably close, right? Because I got a haircut, so I'm not doing anything crazy with my hair. Although I will say it's a little more of a slick back. Is that me? We looking at pictures of me right now? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. We're not doing that. Hair color, probably on the lighter brown side, somewhere around there. Give myself some bangs. Why would I need some bangs, dude? I don't have any bangs in real life. Is it that brown or that brown? Probably this brown. Eyes? Oh, man. Yeah, I'm a good-looking guy. We'll go with that. Eye color. Now, this is where it's weird. My eyes change, but I'm pretty sure they're a little blue. Maybe sometimes green. Eyelashes. Definitely got some eyelashes, everybody. No, I don't. Nose. I think we're pretty close already, guys. This is looking exactly like me already. I got them thin lips, dude. Facial hair color. Oh, here we go. Facial hair. That's what we're missing. That's what we're missing. Wow, they got a lot of options for facial hair. I just got like a generic white guy beard. Where's that at? That one's a little too big. Like, I feel like I don't have that big of a beard, but it's not smaller than that. And they've only got smaller than that stuff. Interesting. Connor 2.0. Yeah. Yes, it is. Body. We'll just go with default. We're not too crazy. Oh, you can give myself clothes, man? Hell yeah. What do I mostly wear? Probably like sweatshirts, hoodies are my go-to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they don't have any hoodies. Are you kidding me? Is that a hoodie? I guess that is. Head cover. Oh, goodness. Literally wearing a cowboy hat today anyways. We're not doing it. And I'm not wearing any glasses. All right, let's apply. Okay, we got ourselves a dude talking. Now all I have to do is add him to the roster. Let's go and add in a window capture application. Video capture device. What is this? I need a display basically. Window capture. I think that's the one. Okay. Then if we select our zoom, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Zoom meeting. Okay. I don't think that's correct, everybody. Let him have the hat. There is quite a bit of actual game development in this chat. I don't understand where you're coming from on that. But it's totally a lot of game development going on right now. Why can't I not see my character? Here he is. He's right there. I got an idea though. Let's delete this guy. Sorry, we're doing this all live just because you guys wanted it, okay? It's not my fault. All right, here's our thing. We have to, this is going to get really ugly really quickly. So bear with me, everybody, okay? But we got a person talking now. Oh my goodness. 1 second. I got it. I only have 3 screens, so you guys are going to have to put up with this for about 2 seconds as I figure this out. Go to filters, add a crop in. We'll never have to do this again, okay? Where's that at? We're doing crop pad. There we go. And left is going to be like, I don't even know. That's too far, though. It's not far enough. There we go. Crop top. Let's do like 500. Probably like a 400 on that one. Crop bottom. 2,200. No, that's not enough. What's going on? We're trying to give you guys an avatar that can talk. Okay, this is going to be good enough. There we go. We've got ourselves a talking avatar person. Welcome to the VTuber space. My name is Connor Thomas, and today I'm going to be showing you, don't forget to add VTuber to the stream details. No, dude, that is like, that's extra, and we don't need that in our life, okay? We're already right where it's at. My guy doesn't smile at all. He basically just looks at you with a menacing grin. Okay, back to this. All right. We're going to use proportional editing here, and I'm just going to grab this thing and we're going to grab it up. Something like that. What I'm trying to do is get that initial curve, and then we're going to grab it and then bring it down. And this is going to give us the kind of, oh, whoopsies, that's too far. Let's go to the side here. And then we'll go down with it. And probably something like that, honestly. And then next up, all right, first of all, we are not doing any of that. So let's get rid of the geometry that we're doing. We're just going to work with a singular line here. Next up, let's convert this. We'll go object. Probably should have never converted this to a curve yet, at least. But now what we're going to do is we're going to use a solidify or subdivision surface here. And obviously, the more we have, the better. But let's grab some of these guys. We're just going to try to smooth this out a little bit better. And probably scale that down. Do something like that. And there we go. So now we've got like this nice kind of like curvature thing that's going up and around here. Let's go ahead and apply this. I'll probably reapply that there. Now we've got a lot of vertices. If you go in and go object and then do convert to curve, we then go back into our curve settings here and then do a nice little depth to this, 0.02. Maybe less than that now, 0.01. And there you go. You got yourself a nice wire. I might do 0.015. There's like a happy medium there that we're going for. Beautiful thing, guys. Okay, great. Now we take this thing and we go object, convert to mesh. And what we need to do is probably reset the origin. So we'll do cursor to selected. Reselect this guy and go object set origin to 3D cursor. And now all we have to do, I think, is just dupe this, rotate it 180 degrees, and now it's on the other side. And I'm going to scale this on the y-axis to be a little bit on the inside, although you could scale it to be along the outside, whatever you please to do. And you got yourself a nice little wireness that's going around the outside of that. There you guys go. And that is how you professionally create yourself a wire for your thing. Which, by the way, we can join these together. Let's see, like so. And if we want to make any adjustments to them, we can make them at the same time. So let's go to the side here, and we'll select the center of it. Using proportional editing, we can kind of grab this whole thing and then just, bring it up a little bit more, maybe. Or actually probably bring it down a little bit more, so that way it comes down a little more flat. Better than how you did it. It was basically not bother at all. Yes. I can't even remember if in my film that version actually had this wire thing on it. I honestly think I literally didn't even try, because I was like, you know what? No one's going to see it. It's motion blur. Yeah. So I'm going to just take this now. It's, as I said, grain, motion blur, and backlight everything, and it basically solves your problem. Any problem that you ever have in life, it gets solved by those three things. Okay, so let's just select this bottom here. Go cursor to selected. Object set origin to 3D cursor, just to make sure that is set correctly. And then I'm just going to make that a little bit bigger. We want to see that through our glass. We'll go ahead and hit the save button. Make sure you're always hitting the save button, everybody. Oh, Riley. Auto parts. Anyways, somebody mentioned on the Discord that they lost progress. I forget who it was. I don't remember, but it was there. Somebody was talking about it in the general chat, I think. Was it LQV? I think no. It was someone. It was someone here. They lost their progress on their UVs. Anyways, I want to show you a really cool thing that I have set up. Victor was talking about it over in the Discord. First of all, set on or turn on auto saves. You can do that by going into your preferences, and then the auto saves are set up inside of, I want to say it's like system. Like there's an auto save number, and then it's where you save everything to be, save and load. I might not even have mine. Auto run on Pythons, no file paths. I don't remember where it is, but there is like a whole thing with like your auto saves being set up inside of here. And I definitely recommend finding it. I think they moved it in the latest version, but when that does happen and it auto saves your project files, you can go to recover auto save. And there's also last session, by the way, but I've found that this one doesn't work quite as well. But the auto saves have like just randomly, like it'll save like this is 1436. That's 2 minutes ago. So great to have, whenever you're working on stuff, to have autosave turned on, because basically you never have, you'll never know when it's going to crash. And then when it does, it basically breaks your heart and it's never fun. I don't enjoy it. Cool. Let's see. Now that we've got this, I might just scale this in on the y-axis. I think that's the last thing I really wanted to do. Maybe not so much. Just a little bit. There we go. There's your wires. And fantastic. Okay, we need to start making some shaders for this. And then once we've got ourselves some shaders, then everything else is very easy. Because we're just dropping in an asset for the flame. We're not really going to be, making flames ourselves here. Absolutely not. We use Action VFX around here, and we drop those bad boys in there. Holy cow, I don't think my dude ever... Oh, he does blink. Okay, I was going to say, he's just like staring at you guys. That's kind of creepy, honestly. I almost want inside of here, if we use a Luma key, does that do wonders for us? Oh, oops, opposite direction. It doesn't... Wait. I don't know why my eyes are just like, how is that like so bad? The Luma key inside of OBS is not fantastic. Staring into your soul. We're not going to do that. Nope. I like seeing him talk too, because it's like not actually that bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's not that bad. Okay, we're going to add a material metallic. You know, I'm still trying to figure out proper naming conventions for all of my shaders. I'm actually pretty bad at this normally. I just kind of like name it whatever comes to my mind. I don't really even think that hard about it. I'm probably going to join all of these together. Yeah, let's do that. Because why not? And this probably should just get joined into that, honestly. There's not really a reason to have separate models at this point. The knob. What is that? Oh. And then your wire. I'm just going to keep glass separate for right now. You got to get to bed. It was a fun stream. Good luck with everything else you have to do. Thank you so much, Beargun Productions. Appreciate you sticking around. We're going to be finishing this up decently soonish. Connor, I just posted in share your vids a small video of Batman you're working on. Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. I will check that out. Okay, let's make some materials here. So we're going to use this material metallic that we've got going on. I'm going to create a new window and then just pop it over here, which it looks like, oh, I do have that. Okay, great. Let's go to our shader editor now, and we're just going to start making some materials for this guy. Okay. First of all, we have a glass material that we're also going to need. I'm probably going to remove that material, create a new one, call this material lantern glass. And inside of our lantern glass, let's just use an actual glass BSDF. And then we're going to want to make it dirty, which we will do momentarily. Next up, we also have our principled BSDF for our material metallic. First of all, we're just probably going to boost up the metallicness of this. Let's go into our material preview over here. Just see what's going on. Probably shade auto smooth this crap. Go into ignore sharpness. Perfecto, baby. Ooh, our bottom of our thing is just not correct. You guys ever realize that when your bottom of your thing is not correct? Turn off proportional editing here, and that's probably good. We're just smoothing that guy out, guys. Perfecto, baby. And that's the bottom of our lantern. So now, here's the thing. We have this principled BSDF, and the roughness kind of controls the amount of reflectiveness that this metal is going to be getting. And that is mostly what we're going to be adjusting for today. We're really trying to create kind of like that, you know, old rusty metallicness that you would get. And that's pretty rough, right? So we'll probably do something like this. And that's just going to get our general kind of like copper-ish feel to our thing. But you'll notice that inside of our preview that we've got here, it's pretty dirty. And there's like these little dings and specks and all that kind of stuff. Now we can do a little bit of that with some noise textures. So first of all, we're probably going to create some noise textures. Let's scale that in there. We'll use like a color ramp or something like that to really get those speckles going. And if you lessen the amount of that, you're going to see these like really sharp dots that we're creating kind of like all over our material. And that's where we're going to create like these paint dings that's going on. But maybe we want even less, right? So if we preview this, maybe we make this a lot larger. So let's set this value to like a 20 or something. And then we'll use another color ramp. And if we're previewing this color ramp, again, we'll get in here and we'll just have like a few really big spec locations. And these big spec locations are going to kind of dictate where those small specs are going to be. We'll use a mixed color, for instance. And I'm actually going to make this window a little larger so you guys can see what's going on here. But this mixed color is now going to use this as a factor. And this, wherever the B is, and the A will make black. So wherever white is on this factor, it's going to put this texture there. And wherever it's not, it's going to put the color black. So if we go preview that real quick, you'll see now we've got these really small dots only. And then we can preview this right here. Only where these like big white dots are where the small dots are going to appear. And that's like a really nice, easy way of being able to control the amount of specs that you're going to have just by using some procedural noise. So I'm going to probably keep something like that. And then we will also maybe not make it so little, but we could do something like that. And that you can see we're even controlling the amount that this is appearing. An easier way to control a lot of this, instead of using linear, we use constant. And we don't even need to control that one. Now we're just controlling this amount here is the amount of small spots that we're going to get. Probably goes something like that. A decent, fair amount of distribution amongst the object here, but not zero. And there you go. So we'll just go ahead and organize this a little better. But this procedural texture is just a matte. Now, what a matte is basically just black with white. And the white is dictating where something is supposed to be, whereas black is dictating where something's not supposed to be. And we already created that a bit with our noise texture. It's like where the black is, we're not putting anything. Where the white is, we're putting this B line. And essentially, we're going to do the exact same thing. And it's funny, actually, I just realized this. I don't know why it took me this long to realize this, but the B pipeline inside of Nuke is your main pipeline. And in Blender, I never really realized that that was actually the same freaking pipeline here. So where the alpha is where you're putting your B line. And your A is where the overlay is going to go. I didn't really realize that before, but that's exactly how mattes work inside of Nuke. So it's the exact same thing in Blender versus Nuke. It's just laid out differently. In Blender, everything's left to right and top to bottom, or I guess bottom to top in this instance. I don't know why B is on the bottom, but it's the exact same thing. So anyways, with that being said, we can use that as a way to dictate how we want our materials to be distributed. And right now we just kind of have this metallic, somewhat reflective object here that's going into, I might even go something like that, that's going into the surface here. And so maybe we want to have multiple materials. So I'm going to duplicate this principled BSDF. And we're going to make this kind of like a little bit more like so, maybe a little darker, or just go something like that. The roughness will be all the way up. And if we preview this, you'll see that it's kind of like this clayish looking material here. And might even go something like that. And I like even the idea, if we take a noise texture, I love doing this. You take this noise texture and then you change the scale of this to be really small, you can have a lot of these little dots everywhere. And what we can do is we can convert this using a bump node and just plug that directly into your bump node. And then this value here, we can plug it directly into your normal. And so that's going to give us a different effect. Also, you're going to want to plug the FAC into your height here instead of the normals, because it's not actually a normal, it's a height value. And then that's going to give you a lot of these little dots everywhere. So the smaller this value is, the smaller your dots are going to be in your distribution. And then we'll probably also plug this into our normal map. And so if we plug that into our normal map, that'll convert your bump color into an actual normal value. And then that's going to give us these little dots kind of like everywhere. I might change the intensity of this to be quite a bit smaller because we're going for a very, stylized effect here. You can keep making this scale larger and larger, or what you can also do is you can add a texture coordinate mapping node setup here. And inside of this texture coordinate node mapping, we can just add a value. And I always find this very useful. If you plug that value directly into your scale, it allows you to very easily change your value just by dragging this slider here. And that will allow you to get like much larger numbers very quickly. And so I'm going to just set it to a value of 4, and that's going to give us quite a bit of detail that no one will ever see, but it'll catch on the lighting. Hey, Dave, welcome to the chat. Sorry, I'm using my VTuber face today because my camera stopped working. Cool. So anyways, this is our pretty basic. Now, what I'm doing on this line setup here through this principal BSDF is kind of creating a separate painted chip effect. We can kind of see that on this picture here, that there's like these other little specks here. And that is this material. That's the one that we're creating right now. And I don't think that this color accurately represents that. First of which is it's very plain, and I feel like it should have more detail within inside of it. So we'll use another noise texture. We just love using noise textures here, guys. And we're going to use this in conjunction with a mix color. And inside of this mix color, we'll use this factor again. And let's select this guy. And then where the B input is, we'll also select that color, but make it a little bit darker. Something like that. And what that's going to do is it's going to create variation with inside of your noise texture that you have. We can use the exact same vectors if we wanted to, and that just scales everything appropriately. And of course, if we scale this to something like that, that gives us like a nice dirty variation to everything. And this gets just plugged directly inside of our base color. So when we plug that in, your base color won't be as flat as it was before. It's going to have some variation with inside of it. And then maybe we take that exact same noise texture that we have, and then we just plug this directly into our roughness. We're probably going to have to make some adjustments because it's going to make it really rough in certain areas and really shiny in other areas. But already we're getting kind of like a more realistic, like painted, plastery feel to things. And that's already feeling quite a bit better. Now we have this whole line here, and this is just our painted effect that we have. We might also want to use that exact same factor all the way down here on this roughness. So if we go preview that, we now have this going on. This is just our kind of bronzy feel that we want to have. Now, where our specs are going to be, we can make adjustments. I'd probably make this a little bit larger too. That's good. Okay, that's looking a lot better. I'm just gonna definitely get some more chip areas in certain spots. Make sure that's very white. In fact, we want it to be, again, probably constant. And we'll just change this value here to something like that. Actually, no, we don't want it to be constant. The reason why is we want a little bit of a fall off. I just realized that. Have you tried animating a character before? A little bit, yes, actually. I'm not super successful at it, though. That is one thing that I've learned about myself. Let's go preview this real quick. I don't think I like... Let's try changing this up a little. There we go. I think that's probably going to be better. So now if we go check that out, that is quite a bit better. Okay, so we're going to use this mix color to dictate the difference between these two shaders. So we'll use a mix shader node, and we'll plug that into the factor. And then where it's A input, we want to have this. Where it's the B input, we want to have this. And we might actually swap it. but I actually think this is probably going to be better, this orientation. So let's load that up real quick. And great. I want to make sure that we're really seeing this stuff. So that's all our whites, and that gets plugged into our mix shader here. And yeah, we're getting these little paint specks in there. The only thing is we might want more of them. And then we might want them larger. Something like that maybe. And then let's make this a little sharper. And let's make this a little smaller. Good old variation that we have to have here. That's pretty good. Was it hard? A little bit, just because I haven't done too much of it before, but there are processes to learn how to do that stuff better. I think the thing is like a lot of the reason why I'm better at other things is just I've done more of it. So, you know, the more repetition you have, the better you're going to be at something. And I just haven't spent a lot of time learning how to do animation better. So maybe one day. I really love animation. I just haven't gotten into it. I do mostly comp work, which is why the 3D shading and stuff that I do, it works out because it's, you know, pretty similar in regards to comping. It's a lot of the same techniques. Okay, we're also going to use ambient occlusion now. All right, so now cool thing about ambient occlusion is it gives you all the areas where shadows should be. So we will just enable that. And if we use a color ramp, we can always accentuate this a little bit more. And that's going to give us like kind of like these dirty areas that things are going to be at. So let's going to increase that. Do you know, Blender actually used to have a game engine. It doesn't anymore, but it used to. We are not making the game directly inside of Blender. We will be making it inside of Unreal Engine, but we are making all of the assets inside of Blender. Okay, let's increase that value. Let's use that there. Next up, we're going to create another principled BSDF. Probably just like full black. The roughness will be all the way up, or actually mostly down if we want it to be oily. Let's use another mix shader node here, and then we're going to plug this into the that input. These will be backwards just because I don't want to flop them. But essentially, that should be how you can do that. Oh, nice. I do like that. Let's just increase this a little bit more to something like that. And that's going to give us some nice painted kind of material there. One more thing I'd really like to do. Let's add in an image texture. And we're going to use this exact same principle BSDF here. It's going to be plugged in to the bottom because where we paint, we want to have essentially the this effect to be. And then this new image texture, we're going to plug directly into the FAC here. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Next up, let's hit new image, and then we're going to call this matte lantern oil, I think. 2048 by 2048. That's pretty high texture detail actually for an asset inside of a video game, but that's what we're going to do. Okay, let's preview this material lantern directly here, so that way we're not doing all of the processing. And you'll notice that our image is kind of just like fully black. If we go into our texture paint node, now we can actually paint directly onto it. If we actually had a color, which we don't, but if we did, we can paint directly onto it. The other thing you might notice is that that just textured a bunch of crap all at the same time. And actually, we might have a problem with this. So let's go back over to our mix shader node over here. Now we're using generated for a lot of this stuff. I think we're using generated for everything, but I could be wrong. So let's just double check. We're going to plug all of this into all of our noise textures that we have. That's using all of the stuff up there. I think we should be good. I don't want to be using UVs because I'm fairly certain our UVs are screwed up right now. You made a pretty good riggable arm in the beginning of the summer, but you got discouraged by the complexity of Unity and Unreal. Just gave up. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing is like you just got to keep pushing through. And it's annoying because I don't like how Unreal's whole system works, but that's just like my own gripes with it. I'm going to select everything here, and we're just going to do Smart UV Project because we just want a quick UV projection of everything. I'll probably do this one as well. And let's select this guy here. And now if we go back over into our material lantern, if we add in some coordinates here, we're going to be using UV. You can kind of tell we're using UV because it says UV. But now if we go over into our texture paint that we have, you'll notice that everything's lined up inside of our picture over here. And when we do paint on, it will just paint that section right there, and it should give us a preview as we're going. The next thing to check is what someone said earlier, which was to make sure that our normals are faced in the correct orientation. And we can do that by going over here and then turning on, I think, normals preview. Where are you, sir? Face orientation. And I have mine so that way it's like got an opacity. So that way you can actually have it on all the time. That was the idea behind it anyways. However, I did not have it on all the time today, as you may have noticed. And we did have incorrectly faced orientations. So we're just going to select all the faces that are flipped because that's our problem right now. And we got to fix that. Otherwise, it's going to make painting very, very difficult. It's okay, though. This is an easy fix. An easy fix to an annoying problem. Okay, right there. Let's do this real quick. Do face normals. Where are you at? I need you, good sir. Where's it at? Face. What am I missing, guys? It's the normals. I need to flip normals. Mesh normals. Flip. Okay, it kind of works. So let's go ahead and select this guy over here. We're just going to select these by just alt clicking like so. If I do alt N, you can hit flip and then that also works. So there you go. I think we got these guys down here. No problem. We just go in, we select it, we flip it. Alt N, flip. That's right. Boom. Alt N, flip. Who knew that all your normal faces could be flopped? Well, I didn't, I guess. Even making assets in Blender isn't the problem. It's the shading, etc. that's the problem, but looks pretty good at it. But like you're pretty good at it. Wait, what? Sorry, I can't read. But looks like you're pretty good at it. Oh, yeah, I mean, I enjoy this part. The shading is actually my favorite part of creating materials or doing things in 3D. But we still got some hand painting to do here, guys. So let's go ahead and select our material lantern texture that we have, hit the save button. And then now if we go into texture paint, this should work. So wherever we paint, it's going to create that over on our UVs. We don't really care. I think you should want your UVs to be like flat, you know, so that way it's really easy to access them. I do most of my painting in the 3D world though, not in the 2D world. So for me, it doesn't matter as much. but I you know what? I know that it's not necessarily the correct thing. That's the way I like to work. So inside of your window over here, we actually have a bunch of options that we can now access. Now, our default paintbrush is pretty lame. I like to actually use some surface imperfections as I'm painting. So if you go into your texture window here, or texture mask specifically, and you hit new, you can go over and then create a new texture mask for your thingy thing. Hit open. And now I have a whole pack. Now this is on Patreon. So if you guys are part of the Patreon, you guys can go download this for free. It's my whole surface imperfections pack. And I've got a bunch in here that are just black and white textures. And I'll show you how to use them here right now. And I really love to use some different ones. I actually used this the other day on this film that I'm working on. And it's just freaking amazing. So I got like a bunch of different surface imperfections that you guys can use. Let's see, which one do I want right now? Probably, what do we want? I think maybe this might do. Yeah. Let's do this guy. So we've got stains 2. I'm just going to grab stains 2. If you hit open image, you'll see it load inside of your property window over here. And you can go back into your tool set and you'll notice that it loads inside of your texture. Now we actually don't want it in texture. We want it under texture mask. So go select your texture mask there. And then we're going to turn a couple things on, rake and then random. And this is going to allow you to paint with your material directly on your 3D model, which is great. And I'm just going to dirty this bad boy up because we don't like anything clean around here. And then we're just going to, paint our different material that we have. Probably just scale that up. You can randomize this with different, maybe materials that you might have or different surface imperfection types that you might have. I'm pretty lazy though, so I'm just going to use this one for right now anyways. Do that. That looks pretty good. Hands will probably be grabbing this a lot, so if you want, you'll probably dirty this section up a little bit more. Okay. And then grabbed here, as if somebody grabbed the thing, maybe a little bit there, but not a lot. Okay. So now you've got that on there. You know what? I'm thinking that's pretty good, but I might just add a little bit more speckle. Now you just got to hit the image save button, and we're just going to save this. This is our project. I'll probably save it under, let's call this materials matte lantern oil.png. Hit the save button. Now that's going to load over into our image that we already created inside of our shader window here. And you'll see this black and white image. And this is the exact same thing as our noise texture, but now we've got like this hand painted grime. And that's what we really want. That hand painted grime. So we can do the exact same thing. It's plugged in through that. So now if we plug that in, you've got yourself a nice ugly lantern going on. And I might change the roughness here, and now you've got more of like a dirty effect going on, and that works beautifully fine for us. Oh my goodness, we've got like this soot pattern kind of like going that's just been grabbed and did all sorts of stuff. It's, good stuff, guys. Now we've got to do our glass shader that we've got. So let's go over into our viewport now that we're done 3D modeling. Turn this back over into textured, and you've got yourself kind of this glass that's happening. I'm going to go into render view right now because we need this glass to be glassy. And there's a couple things that we need to do. First of all, if we go into our material settings, unfortunately in Eevee, glass is not see-through, so we actually have to turn that on. And I forget how you do that. I think it's under settings, and then you have to turn it on somewhere. used to be like a setting that says like opaque versus like blended or something like that. But we're going to figure out how to do this. Ray trace transmission from shadow, transparent shadows, displacement, shadow, camera, surface. Oh my goodness. Is it under here? Turn on ray tracing? Sure, why not? Fairly certain it should be over here. All right, we got to figure that out. Let's open up our browser. Blender 4.3, make glass in Eevee transparent. You must first enable ray tracing. Done. In your material property, set the principal BSDF shader transmission value to 1, roughness to 0, within the material settings. Okay, fine. We'll do it that way. I was trying to use your glass. We'll do it this way. Transmission 0, roughness 0. I mean, we can adjust the alpha. I know that. I know one way to do it is if you do a Fresnel effect, essentially. You'll get like these edges here, and you can use a color ramp with that. There we go. And then when you are seeing more of these edges here, we'll just do it this way. We'll do it like that, maybe. Probably something like... Oh, we're so close. It's like right there. Okay. And then we'll use a transparent BSDF. Let's, first of all, we're going to turn this up a little bit. So that way we can see through if we want it to. And we're going to use this transparent BSDF with a mix shader. And then you can take your glass that you have, which we're going to make a little yellowish because we want like yellowish glass. And then we're going to plug that in like so. And then you got your Fresnel effect plugged into the factor. And then voila. There you go. Our roughness is set to 0. Let's do a couple things. First of all, we're probably going to want to turn on an environmental texture. And let's go to HDRI Haven, baby. So we like with glass, it's hard to see glass really unless you've got like a nice, you know, reflective thing going on. I need a nighttime one. Do we got nighttime stuff? Please. You know what? This might work. Let's download this guy. Go over to our downloads folder. Right there. Just find that real quick and drop in our night texture. And if we go to viewport or our render settings here, and if you go to film, we can set transparency. That way we're not seeing that background. But now you're going to see this kind of glass material that hopefully be a little bit more visible. And we just really want that to pop up if we can. So if we go back over here, we need a little less of that, I think. Then now we go back over to our mix shader and we turn off alpha, or alpha set to 1. There we go. So this is going to be kind of like our like opaqueness of our glass. And then this now will allow us to have a little bit more transparency, if we will. And these edges, I don't want this white to be fully white. I kind of want it to be gray. And let's bring that in. Again, probably go with something like that. Like those edges. And then on the interior, is that flopped? Am I just flopped on this? Maybe. Maybe I'm off on that. Okay. So there we go. We've got ourselves like a glass lantern effect anyways. And let's see. If we set a value here to the thickness, what does that do for us? Great. Beautiful. Okay, so we got ourselves a nice glass. That was more complicated than I really thought it was going to be. I don't use Eevee much. I use cycles all the time. I don't use Eevee a lot, but you know, this is kind of working maybe. I don't know. We're figuring it out as we're going along. Next up, I'm going to do this off screen just because I'm not quite sure if I have to enter my email and all that crap, and I don't want that public. Sorry. Just not going to happen. Not today. We're signing in to get some action VFX. Now that you mentioned cycles, what about it? I like cycles so much better. It's just hard to, I don't think we're going to be, I don't think it would convert over to Unreal Engine as easily, but maybe it would. I don't know. I don't know how the transfer stuff works. Looking for some fire. We need some fire. Little torches. We got fire for torches. Saw news that Blender is going to use NVIDIA DLSS for cycle noise removal. Oh, really? You know, I don't really stay up to the schnuff on the news with Blender. I kind of just, whenever stuff comes out, I just start using it. And usually I'm pretty far behind because I don't use the latest stuff of Blender. It's too hard to stay up to snuff on everything. So I kind of just let it happen. And then once I get around to it, I get around to it. Okay. I found myself a fire asset. Kind of show you guys what I'm doing here. Just looking through their different fire assets that they have. They've got these ground fires, small ground fires. And while it's not exactly the fire that I need, I can probably use something like this thin one here. And then drop that in. I think this might work. So we're going to use a 2K file. Yes. 2K ProRes. Let's just drop it into my project. Assets, 2D assets, new folder, and then we'll call this AVFX. I will not be sending this on the Patreon, just like an FYI. I can't redistribute their asset files that they have. So if you guys want it, then go to Action VFX and grab them over there. Let's add a plane now. And let's do this. Let's add a plane. I think if we do a solidify, that fixes the normals issue. Perfect. And now all I have to do is make this a material. And I'm going to find an image texture inside of here. And we will go ahead and find ourselves that 2D Action VFX asset that we just downloaded. Just increase the amount of frames that we've got here. And then we're not going to be doing UDIM. I don't know why it always imports as UDIM here. What was it actually? What did it download as? Let's hit open again. 1 second. I got to do this again. So if we go to 2D Action VFX, download this guy. Let's not detect UDIMs and let's hit open. Perfect. And then if we do something like that. Perfect. Now we've got ourselves this material here. We can use an emission shader, plug that into the color, and then if we boost that guy, fantastic. Next up, I believe, should have alpha. Let's double check that it does. It does. Beautiful. So now we can use a transparent BSDF in conjunction with a mix shader. You guys see where I'm going here. Let's move all of this stuff over, and then using the alpha from that guy, and then the emission from this guy, and then the transparent BSDF from this guy. We'll probably have to swap these. Now we've got ourselves a wonderful fire asset that has transparency. And I think the thing is we have to go to settings on this, and we have to make sure that our transparency is actually transparent. Because I think, oh, that's translucent. No wonder. Can I not select the right one? Translucent and transparent are not the same thing. I want to point that out. This is a very important distinction to make. Okay, next up, we've got all of that. And for our sake, just because I'm going to turn on bloom, which right now it's not turned on. Let's do just for funness, we can turn it on. But actually, wait a second. Where is it? Where did they move bloom to, guys? Is it just they changed everything on me? They changed everything. I don't know where anything is anymore. And I'm not even on the latest version of Blender. What is going on? I am on Eevee, right? Rigid body world, key to simulate gravity. Do I have to do this inside of the compositor? Use nodes. We use glare and swap that to bloom. And then if you go over into your visibility over here, we can turn on, or is it over here? We could turn on render passes combined always. And then you just have to adjust the scaling and all that crap on this. But let's see, low. It's the fire's too bright is basically what's going on here. So we'll go back over to our shader editor and then turn the strength of our fire down. Also, I don't like the color of it. So let's use a, what is the right node? There's your magical fire that you want to have. Okay, so now you got yourself some flames. I'll probably also turn on, let's see, frames here. Start frame. Let's do an auto refresh. So now you got yourself some really cool looking flames inside of your thing. You might want to speed it up also. I don't think you can do that directly inside of Blender. I don't think so. Could be wrong. But let's see. Let's duplicate this, rotate it 90 degrees, and then now you're getting more of like a 3D fire effect. So now whenever you look at it from different angles, the fire just kind of works. I think one more thing I would like to do is just grab both these guys, and then on the 3D cursor, let's just scale them up. I hate cycles so much. It definitely doesn't do justice to anything. Let's see. Let's turn our world up a little bit. So there you go. There's our lantern that we made today. You know, it's not terrible. Is it as good as I'd like it to be? Not quite. I'm going to make some adjustments here. Hopefully that'll make a bigger difference. That gets plugged into there. Okay, fantastic. So now if I increase that value a little bit. Yes, I like that. Just gives a little bit more of a sheen to everything. Okay, guys. Let's go back over to our compositor real quick. And then let's change the size here. We might always want the flame to be facing the game camera rather than doing this like kind of like two separate cards effect that we've got going on here. But that's something we're going to have to do inside of actual Blender. We're not going to be able to do that here. Also, let's add a point light into this thing here. You grab that and then just boost up the brightness inside of this thing. We can actually create some nice looking glow effect directly inside of, you know, the actual lighting using that, and that'll create like some nice interactive lighting, because I don't know why our emissive light is not doing that. Could bring that down a little bit, but now we've got a really nice looking light on the inside. I think the only thing we're missing from a model perspective is which, let's create a new collection as well, call that FX. Grab both those in there, and we could just turn that off for right now. The last thing from a 3D model perspective is just kind of the actual holder of our lantern. And, you know, I had one. Let's see, where's that at? Go back over here. We should 3D model this. We should 3D model it. And then I think that's that. We're like so close, guys. We're just so close. Circle, grab Y. We're just going to do this real quick, guys. We'll turn that off. We'll do median point, please. We'll go out, down. I think if we do bridge faces, that fixes our thing. And if we create that on the edge there, that just gives us a nice little loophole. Haha, loophole, baby. And let's see, that's good. And that's better than a Taurus because I did it. You know, like that's what I think. You can make the Tauruses faster than thinking about making a Taurus because you just did it yourself. And then it's got the exact amount of vertices and everything that you would possibly need. So it's ultimately better because of it. And that's just my opinion, but I think I'm right. And because I think I'm right, it means I am. But yeah, so we just grab this guy. And so first of all, we just grab him, scale it down like way more. Way more, dude. Let's just copy rotation. I think that's the name of the game here. And let's see, we'll grab you, place you sideways here. Something like that, maybe. It's pretty close. I like that. What the heck is going on? What? I don't understand, guys. What is going on here? Why won't it mirror directly there? It's fine. I don't need a mirror. I just duplicate it. Can't stop me. I'll just move it over myself. Goodness gracious. Okay, so there we go. We got that. Now we just need the thingy thing that holds the thing up. Oh my goodness. I think if we go here, duplicate this, yeah, right? Okay, we're on to something. Do it like this, I think. Now if we just extrude, rotate, extrude, rotate, extrude, rotate. What we're going to do is we're just going to create ourselves this top piece. And then we do a mirror, I think. Or we'll do object, set origin to 3D cursor. And then now you do a mirror. Okay. Guys, we are on to something. Yes, we are. Okay. Great. Okay, guys, I think that about sums that. Just have to stretch that out. And then Okay, perfect. So now we got ourselves a little lantern. Probably take this whole thing here. And then we'll just apply that. Beautiful thing, guys. Beautiful thing. All right. Yeah, I think that sums that up. We've got ourselves a little lantern. Obviously it'll be a bit of a different video, I think, to get let's just join all of that together. It'll be a little bit of a different video to get the fly to fly around it. The reason why is because I think that's going to have to be an Unreal Engine thing anyways. So I don't want to get started on that here because I just know it's already not going to be this video. But yeah. Wait, what just happened? Oh, I guess I got to remove that. Covering my face there, guys. What the heck? All right, my camera is like, again, like 50% charged or whatever. So, let's see. Whoa. Wait, were my eyes see through this whole time anyways? What the heck? Okay, cool. How do I get rid of my secondary VTuber face? We're going to do that. Cool. All right, guys. I think that's it for today. I think it is. Let's see. How do I get rid of this? This screen's too big. Let's make that smaller. Perfect. I am back, baby. Let's go. Let us cook. All right. This right here is the whole lantern. I'm pretty pleased with it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, as my thing just said, you know. Next up is oh, I guess that's I can't focus on it. Okay. That's apparently not possible. But this is not bad actually for, I think, today. I think that'll be it. I'm pretty pleased with it. Pretty high quality detail. Now we could just drop this bad boy into our scenes inside of Unreal Engine. It's got some nice little fire animated moving on the inside of that. And hopefully everything just works. I think I'm going to have to bake everything down from a texture perspective, but that's all good. Hey guys, though that I think is it for today. If you guys want to check out the 3D models that some of the people in our chat made, go watch the beginning of this live stream. And if you want to make a model, go ahead and do that. And then just, I might make a Discord channel for submitting the files, or not. I think sending them directly to me is probably best. That way it doesn't like, block up Discord too much. And, I also don't know what people will be sending, but with that being said, send those files to me. I'm actually going to upload those to Patreon as well. So if you guys want to access anybody else's project files, then that's a way to do it. And then of course, today I'm going to be uploading this 3D model here as well. Hopefully soon I can start just bringing stuff over in Unreal Engine. I just have to do a deep dive on my own time to get that going. Any of you guys have experience doing that, let me know in the Discord. Would love to see that. Again, big shout out and thank you to the wonderful Patreon subscribers here. If you guys submit a 3D model to the to this cause, then you guys will get a gifted Patreon subscription, I guess. A link to that, of course, is in the description below. But I think this is all turning out great here, guys. I'm super excited. I'm super excited. I got my cowboy hat on. That was a very special thing just for today. But good night, Marvin Studios. Hey, thanks for dropping in the chat. Appreciate you guys so much for watching the stream today. And I'm super excited about all the other stuff that we've got going on here. I did test the game out so far, and I got the lighting to be right in Unreal Engine. So now I just need to start importing the assets. I don't know how to do terrain stuff yet, so we'll have to get to that. And of course, I think next week we'll be back with another stream. I don't know what we'll be doing. Maybe we'll do the train station. I haven't decided yet. But anyways, thank you guys for joining today, and I shall see y'all next week with a new one. Yeah, stay creating. Hope to see you guys over on the Discord and see what you guys are doing there. But peace out, guys. Have a good one.